Special thanks to Patreon supporter Derek Frost Westbrook for making this video possible. Hello ladies and gentlemen, Scared204 here bringing you another Minecraft World War II bathtub build tutorial. In this tutorial we'll be going ahead and building HMS Ark Royal aircraft carrier. The HMS Ark Royal was an aircraft carrier of the Royal Navy that was operated during the Second World War. Designed in 1934 to fit the restrictions of the Washington Naval Treaty, Ark Royal was built by the Camille Laird in Birkenhead, England, and completed in November 1938. Her design differed from previous aircraft carriers. Ark Royal was the first ship on which the hangars and flight deck were an integral part of the hull, instead of an add-on or part of the superstructure. Designed to carry a large number of aircraft, she had 2 hangar deck levels. She was used during a period that first saw the extensive use of naval air power. Several carrier tactics were deployed and refined aboard Ark Royal. Ark Royal operated in some of the most active naval theaters of the Second World War. She was involved in the first aerial U-boat kills of the war, operations off Norway, the search for the German battleship Bismarck, and the Malta convoys. Ark Royal survived several near misses and gained a reputation as a lucky ship. She was torpedoed on November 13, 1941 by German submarine U-81 and sank the following day. One of her 1,488 crew members was killed. Her sinking was the subject of several inquiries, with investigations keen to know how the carrier was lost in spite of efforts to save the ship and tow her to the naval base at Gibraltar. They found that several design flaws contributed to the loss, which were rectified in the new British carriers. The wreck was discovered in December 2002 by an American underwater survey company using sonar mounted on an anonymous underwater vehicle, under contract from the BBC for filming of a documentary about the ship, at a depth of about 1,000 meters and approximately 30 nautical miles from Gibraltar. So yeah, the HMS Ark Royal here, I would say kind of, revolutionary aircraft carrier, as it was part of the British's first attempt into the kind of new carrier age with integrated hangar decks and kind of the designs that have continued to influence our carriers that we have today. Unfortunately, her career was pretty short-lived, being completed in 1938 and sunk just a mere 3 years later. And kind of a crazy thinking to think that a ship like this sunk to one torpedo and only one of her crew members died in that incident, which is kind of amazing in itself that only one person died. But the fact that this ship also sank due to one torpedo hit, especially a ship of this size, is definitely concerning, and obviously the design flaws definitely were rectified. And this was succeeded by the Illustrious class, which we do have a tutorial for HMS Illustrious, which was the kind of follow-up carrier to this. So yeah, really a cool looking ship and a really nice one if you're looking for a kind of nice World War II British carrier. I definitely think this one looks a lot nicer compared to Illustrious in terms of its design, and really just has that whole World War II look to it. Now, before we go ahead and dive in and take a look at the ship, I do want to go ahead and give special thanks to Patreon supporter Derek Frost Westbrook for making this tutorial possible. If you guys are interested in supporting the channel more, you already do, feel free to check out my Patreon page. Link is always in my video descriptions, where you can go and pledge a small amount to the channel every month, and in doing so, earn a vehicle request of your choosing, depending on which tier you are a part of. It definitely helps out support the channel, and you earn that cool benefit, so feel free to check that out. Again, link is always in my video descriptions. With that though, let's go ahead and dive in here to take a look at HMS Ark Royal. So going ahead and getting started with here, we have basically the main flight deck here, so nothing real fancy. The British flight decks seem to be pretty lackluster in terms of detail, just a very plain type design here. But yeah, it's still a cool design, I mean, regardless, but definitely a lot more simplistic and stuff compared to other carriers from the time. It was equipped with anti-aircraft guns here on the sides of the bow here, and also has these masts that pop up for radio antenna or some sort of, massing system. I'm not 100% sure the reasoning behind this, but it is very similar to that of the Illustrious, except from my understanding, this one actually had cables that ran between these little masts, when Illustrious did not. So that's kind of interesting design there. We have, again, the side here of the deck, a bunch of anti-aircraft gun batteries, cranes, and lifeboats and all that stuff. And obviously, again, as we approach the back here, we have, again, more anti-aircraft guns. On the side here, we have all the different little compartments and openings and stuff like that on the side. Again, nothing too fancy. A lot of lifeboats and stuff like that stored in that vicinity. And then we have the tower itself. So the conning tower, again, pretty simple, centrally located off to the right side. Very standard for, these ships. But looks pretty nice, pretty simplistic. Nothing, again, too crazy for it. And we also have a couple mounted anti-aircraft gun batteries. So very cool design there for those. And on this side, again, obviously more anti-aircraft gun batteries, lifeboats and stuff all on the side. And again, the same thing here, designs for lifeboats and cranes. And again, your anti-aircraft weaponry taking us to the rear of the ship. But overall, it's a pretty cool design. We'll make an awesome addition to your World War II British fleets. We've built some pretty cool ships, and this right here will be definitely a good addition, especially since it was involved in the hunt for Bismarck. So if you're trying to put like a little scene together with our Bismarck design and a couple other ships that did participate in that, and this ship right here could definitely be one of those ships you add in. Anyways, though, that is going to do it for this overview. Let's go ahead and move into the tutorial by beginning with our first layer. Alright guys, so moved into our first layer here, we're going to be going ahead and beginning with layer 1. Now a few things I do want to mention real quick is if you're completely new to my map to build tutorials, the way we will be building this tutorial is we're going to do the first about 3 layers here, half on, half off. What this means, I'm going to be building the center line of the ship, and then I'll be building the entire right side. It'll be up to you guys to take the right side and copy it over to the left side across that center line, so just go ahead and basically do that. And for these first 3 layers, both sides will be symmetrical. Once we start to get into the asymmetry in layer 4, we will be doing both sides all together. That's just the way we structure it. Kind of helps speed up these longer layers, which are these kind of first 3 layers here. With that covered though, one last thing is if you're building this in the water, which I imagine a lot of you guys are going to want to do, you will want to make sure that you build this the correct height. So you can see here that I have basically layer 1 kind of already, half of it already built. But you can see here that it basically sits 1 block underneath the water level. This blue concrete here does represent the level at which the water will need to be at and where you want to start this layer here. Make sure that's correct, because if you have this too high or too low in the water, the ship's going to sit really weird. It's not going to look right. So definitely make sure that you have that all squared away. Anyways though, let's go ahead and get started here. So the first thing we want to do is we're going to place down a row of red concrete going down like this. So we'll go ahead and take our red concrete. We're going to place down a long row going all the way to the stern of our ship. This is going to be a long row of 34 blocks in total. So after those 34 blocks in length, we're going to go ahead and place down 2 brick walls toward the direction you want the front of the ship. So we're going to have our ship face that way, and then a red stained glass pane. And that's all you need to do for that. And then going to the rear of the ship, we're going to go ahead and place down 2 brick top slabs back, a end rod, a birch slab, a red stained glass pane, and then a brick wall like that after that. And that right there is going to make your center line. After that, out to the sides here, we're going to go into the 3rd block. We're going to place down a acacia wood trapdoor, close it like so, 1 and 2 red stained glass panes back, and a brick wall. We're going to take our red concrete, go back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, and 26 red concrete blocks back. We're going to go then take our brick top slabs. We're going to place down 1 and 2 top slabs back, another end rod, and then a birchwood slab directly after that end rod. Now, one quick thing here is if you are placing the end rods in the water, they will not be able to be placed in the water. So what you will need to do is you can either substitute that for a chain. A acacia wood fence gate would also work, but a chain would work pretty good here for creating the propeller slabs or shafts. So I just want to go and reference that there for those of you that do need an alternative if you're placing this in the water. Now after that, we're going to go ahead and go back up to the front of the ship here. We're going to go and go to our second red concrete block there. We're going to place down a acacia wood trapdoor to the side, and we're going to close it flat like that. We then want to place down a red stained glass pane back, followed by a brick wall, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17 red concrete blocks back. We're going to go then place down a row of 2 of brick stairs, so 1, 2, and then 2 brick top slabs after those brick stairs. Going out to the side here again, we're going to go ahead and go to our side toward the front. We're going to go ahead and count back from this red concrete, 1, 2, and our third one. Red stained glass pane to the side, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 red stained glass panes back from that, like so. And once you have that all done, just going to double check here to excuse me, to make sure we have everything set up and good to go. And it does appear everything is good, so taking a look at it from the top-down view, this right here is what layer 1 should look like complete. And with that, we'll be going ahead and moving into our next layer, which will be layer number 2. Alright guys, so moving into our next layer, we'll be going ahead and moving into layer 2. For layer 2 to get started with here, we're going to place down a brick wall on top of this red stained glass pane, followed by a second brick wall right behind it, so you have your 2 brick walls. We're going to go ahead and take our red concrete, we're going to place down a long road down the center of the ship. That is going to be a total of 37 blocks in length. On the very end of that row of 37, which should end on top of that brick top slab, we're going to place down a brick top slab like so, then a brick upside stair, like that. Then 2 red concrete blocks off the back of the stair, and then another brick top slab coming off that red concrete block. And that right there is going to form the center line here for this layer. With that complete, we're going to go and again work our way out to the sides. We're going to go and go to the 3rd red concrete block here back from that brick wall. We're going to place down a acacia wood trapdoor to the side of it. 2 red stained glass panes back, a narrow brick wall, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, and 28 red concrete blocks back. We're going to go then place down after 28, then it's going to be 29, 30, 31. So 31 blocks in total. So just double checking here our count. Again, that's going to be 31 blocks in length here along the side. We then want to take our brick top slabs. We're going to place down 2 top slabs back, then 2 acacia wood trapdoors after those top slabs. With that all complete, we're going to go ahead and then again work our way up to the front of the ship here. We're going to go and go to the 2nd red concrete block here to the side. We're going to place down a acacia wood trapdoor there to the side, a red stained glass pane, a brick wall, and then we're going to place down a row of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24 red concrete blocks in total. So double check our count here. Again, 24. We then want to place down a total of 2 brick top slabs. After that, going back up to the front here again, we're going to go to the 3rd red concrete block from the front, place down a red stained glass pane at the side, a second pane back, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13 of these brick walls back, and then we're going to place down 2 red stained glass panes directly after that. And that right there is going to make your right side. Again, just double checking here to make sure we're not missing anything, and everything does appear to be good for this layer. So again, taking a look at it from up above, this is what it should look like from the top down view. Yeah, one thing I would like to mention here is you can see I'm filling this completely in. You really don't need to fill this all in completely. But for me, I like my builds to be a little bit more solid, and especially since this would be in the water, just filling it in so we don't want the water inside the ship as well. But again, not something that's completely necessary, but just wanted to further out there that you don't have to fill that in completely. You know, I do it for the sake of the tutorial. Anyways, though, that right there is going to conclude layer number 2. With that, let's move on to layer number 3. Alright guys, moving into our next layer here, we have layer 3. Layer 3 will be the last layer. We will be doing half on, half off. After this, we will be going ahead and doing both sides of the ship all together. Anyways, though, let's go ahead and get started. First thing we're going to do is we're going to place down the andesite wall on top of this brick wall here in the front, and then we're going to place down a long row of stone full blocks. That's going to go all the way to the back of the ship here, and on top of that brick top slab for a total of 43 blocks in total. And then on the very end here, we're just going to place down a light gray stained glass pane. After that's done, going ahead and coming off this stone block here, we're going to place down a light gray stained glass pane at the side, and then a row of stone going forward. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, and 35 stone blocks forward. I'll go ahead and double check my count here, and it is going to be 35 blocks in length. After that, we want to go and then place down a row of 1, 2, 3 andesite walls, and then 1 and 2 light gray stained glass panes going forward from that. After that, we're going to go to our second stone block here. We're going to place down a light gray stained glass pane to the side here, andesite wall back, and then a row of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, and 26 stone blocks back. Then we're going to place down 1, 2, 3 andesite walls, and then 1, 2 light gray stained glass panes directly after those walls. Again, going out to the side here, we're going to go ahead and begin with our third stone block here from the front, or from this outer row from the front there. We're going to place down a light gray stained glass pane to the side, 1 back, and then a row of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 stone blocks, or stone walls back, stone block, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 andesite walls, and then 2 light gray stained glass panes directly after that. And that right there is going to wrap up everything we have there for this layer. Again, taking a look at it from above, this is what it should look like from the top-down view. That right there again is going to include everything we have for layer 3, and with that we'll be moved on to layer number 4. Alright guys, so moving into layer 4, let's go ahead and get started here. As I mentioned, this will be the first layer we will be doing both sides all together. Just make sure to pay close attention as both sides are different, and this layer will just be a little bit longer as we do have a lot more to cover in terms of those asymmetry parts. So again, just make sure you're paying close attention, and we'll basically work for this layer. First thing we're going to do is we're going to place down a stone block on top of this wall here. We're going to go then place down an item frame coming off this block going forward, and then a black concrete block in that item frame. We're also going to place down a birchwood sign on the side of the block like so for Java players. If you're on a version other than Java, you will not be able to place an item frame and sign in the same block space. If that's the case, just go ahead and throw in the item frame and disregard the sign. We're going to go ahead and build back from this stone block. 1, 2, 3. More blocks back just like that, so a total of 4. On the sides of those blocks, we're going to go ahead and place down 1, 2, 3 light gray stainless panes, and same thing over here. 1, 2, 3. Then a andesite wall on both ends. We're also going to go ahead and place down an item frame on this middle glass pane there, followed by a crossbow in the item frame, and we'll rotate the crossbow so it faces downwards. After that, we're going to go ahead and then grab ourselves our iron trapdoors, and we're going to place down 1, 2 here, and 1, 2 coming out to the side. Same thing over here, 1, 2, and 1, 2 like that out to both sides. At this point, we're going to go ahead and place down a row 3 of black concrete down the center, then 1, 2, 3 and stone stairs, and then 1, 2, 3 stone stairs on this side as well. On the sides here of the last 2 stairs, we're going to place down iron trapdoors. Same thing over here. And over here, or right behind these, we're going to go ahead and place down a row 3 of stone full blocks, followed by, again, a iron trapdoor to both ends. We then want to go ahead and place down a total of 2 more rows of 3, so 1 and 2, a light gray stainless pane, a andesite wall, and same thing over here, light gray stainless pane, andesite wall, just like that. Once that's all finished there, we're going to go ahead and then take our stone blocks. We're going to go and do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 across stone blocks, and then a andesite wall on both sides. At this point here, this is where we're going to go ahead and start to experience, or we actually still have a little bit of symmetry going on, but we're getting close to that symmetrical part. Though continuing on, we're going to place down a row 2 of stone blocks down the center here, then 2 black concrete blocks to both sides. We're going to go ahead and then take our stone top slabs. We'll grab some of those now, and we're going to place down 2 stone top slabs coming off those black concrete blocks to both ends. We then want to take our stone blocks. We're going to go and do a row of 4 across here again, or rather, sorry, a row of 5, and then on both ends here, or actually it's going to be a row of 7, so it's going to go all the way across here. Row of 7, like that to both sides. Now, once we have that all finished there, this is where we start to get into our asymmetry, so we'll be starting with our right side first. Now, for our right side of the ship here, we're going to go ahead and start off by going ahead and grab ourselves some end rods here, and we want to place down a row of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 end rods across. We're going to take our black concrete, and we're going to place down a row of 5 behind those, like so. We're going to go ahead and take our stone blocks after those end rods. We're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4 stone blocks. We're going to go ahead and place down 4 item frames across. And in those item frames, we're going to go ahead and place down a white bed. So, in each one, and we're going to go ahead and rotate it so it sits sideways along the side there, like that. After that is complete there, we're going to go ahead and place down a stone top slab. We then want to place down a stone upside down stair, like so, and another stone top slab after that. Behind those 3 blocks, we're going to go ahead and place down black concrete. We're going to go ahead and place down a stone full block, and then a stone upside down stair, or rather, sorry, actually a stone full block next to this top slab, and then a upside down stair coming off like that to the side. We're going to go ahead and place down another stone top slab here, coming off that stone full block. We're going to follow this up with a stone upside down stair, a stone top slab, another stone upside down stair, and another stone top slab. We'll then go ahead and take our black concrete behind the top slab, the stairs, and like that all the way along the side there. We're going to place down black concrete, filling that row in. Now when we get to this spot, it's going to be a stone block here, and then it's going to be a like gray stainless pane, like that, coming off that, or going up from that glass pane, like so. Then we're going to take our stone top slabs again. We're going to place down 1, 2 here. Again, 2 black concrete in the center. Then a stone full block. Then again, 2 stone top slabs, 2 black concrete blocks on the inside there. A stone block coming off this top slab, And coming off that stone block, we're going to place down a stone upside down stair out to the side. We then want to place down a row of 2 of stone slabs after this stone full block, and 2 black concrete blocks on the inside there of those 2 stone slabs. Once we have that done, we're going to take our stone full blocks, we're going to place down our row of 3. This is just going to go ahead and go across this space here. We're going to place down a stone upside down stair on both sides, so like so. We then want to place down a, or rather actually, sorry, it's going to be a stone, just make sure here, it's actually going to be a stone top slab, so my apologies. That will be a top slab there, and that will be done to both sides. We're going to go ahead and then place down a stone upside down stair coming off that top slab, and we want it to be rotated around and facing this direction. So it's going to have the back of that stair facing toward the rear. Now after that is done, on the inside here, we're just going to place down 1 stone upside down stair here in the middle, and then a stone top slab to both sides, like so. And actually that middle space there, we are going to go ahead and replace that stair with a end rod like so. And we also want to go ahead and swap out these 3 full blocks. So these 3 full blocks here are actually going to be upside down stairs. So we're going to have 1, 2, and 3 upside down stairs like that. And we're going to go and swap these stairs out on the sides here to face that direction. So it should look like this here from the side there, just like that. Anyways, once we have that finished there, we're going to go and place down another end rod in the center. We then want to go ahead and place down a stone upside down stair to both sides of that end rod. We're going to go and then place down a stone full block going back from the end rod, and then a stone top side to both sides of that full block. Once we have that done, we're going to go and then grab our iron trapdoors, and we want to place down a row of 3 here. Now this row of 3 is going to start on the side of this top slab, so on the side here, and then we're going to place down 1 and 2 more back. We're going to go ahead and go in this inside space. We're going to place down another row of 3, so 1, 2, and 3. And then on the back here, we're going to place down 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3. And that right there is going to basically finish off your back side. Now we're going to go ahead and start work here on our left side. Our left side here for the back part is pretty similar to the front. It's just that kind of front section there is where things get a little different. But anyways, kind of the same concept here. We're going to go ahead and start off by going ahead and going off this top slab. We're going to place down 2 stone slabs and then 2 black concrete on the inside there. We're going to go ahead and then place down a stone full block with a stone upside down stair coming off that block. Then we're going to place down 2 stone top slabs forward. Again, 2 black concrete blocks on the inside. We're going to place down another stone full block, another 2 stone top slabs, another 2 black concrete blocks here on the inside. We then want to place down a stone full block here, and then a light gray stainless pane coming off that full block. Coming off that glass pane, we're going to place down a stone top slab, and we then want to place down a stone upside down stair, so like that. We're going to place down another stone top slab, another stone upside down stair, another stone top slab, a stone full block, and again a stone upside down stair coming off the side there of that full block. We're going to take our black concrete on the inside here of the stairs and slabs. So we're just going to go ahead and fill that in with black concrete. Our next section here is going to be a stone top slab, followed by again a stone upside down stair like so, and then a stone top slab coming off that stair. Again, a row 3 of black concrete on the inside. This section here, we're going to take our stone full blocks. We're going to place down 1, 2, 3, and 4 stone full blocks across this section. Or rather, sorry, it's going to be alternate. So it's going to be a stone full block, and there's going to be an andesite wall, and then a stone full block right after. And behind these walls, make sure you do place down a stone full block right behind there, just to kind of fill in any gaps and make it look a little bit more full. We then want to take our item frames. We're going to place down 1, 2, 3 item frames across this space here. And we then want to go ahead and grab ourselves white beds. And like we did on the other side there, we're going to place down white beds horizontally on the sides there of those item frames. And for Java players, on the walls here, we're going to go ahead and place down birchwood signs. So just on those 2 wall item frames, the rest of that, or the other item frame, we're going to go and leave alone. So again, for Java players, you can place down those signs. Anyways, though, continue on. We're going to place down a stone top slab like so. This is going to be followed with another stone upside down stair like that, a stone top slab, a stone upside down stair like so, and then a stone top slab coming off that upside down stair. We're going to go then take our black concrete, and we're just going to fill in the space here right behind those blocks like so, with black concrete to close it off like that. And once we have that done there, we also actually that's already been completed. I'm just trying to make sure I'm not missing anything. We do have some iron doors, or iron trap doors we will throw on here. So our iron trap door wise, we're going to go and go to this stair here. In the mid deck section, we're going to place down 3 iron trap doors going forward, and then 4 going back. And same thing will be done over here on this side as well. So just make sure that gets translated again to both sides there of the ship. And with that all complete, that is going to pretty much wrap up everything we have here for this layer. Again, just trying to do a double check here, make sure we're not missing anything. And again, everything does appear to be pretty much good to go. So one thing you can also do is you can fill the inside in here with stone as well. It's not something that's completely needed, but for the build, I will be filling this in. Again, I want to kind of fill this in to make it look a little more solid and all that. So again, this is what it looks like completely filled in with all the remaining space filled in with stone. And again, this is an overview of what it looks like from the top-down view. With that though, that is going to wrap up everything we have there for layer 4, and with that, let's move on to layer 5. Alright guys, we'll move it into our next layer here. We have layer 5. Layer 5 here is probably going to be our longest layer. We have a lot going on in terms of setting up all of our kind of deck detail or siding detail where all of our anti-aircraft gun positions are. So there is a lot in this layer. This will be a long one. If you want to, go ahead and take a break at this time and come back to it, but just again, be forewarned that this is going to be a bit of a longer layer. Now, let's go ahead and get started. Hopefully it's not too difficult because a lot of this is just going to be kind of expanding upon what we already built in the previous layer, so hopefully it won't be too bad. But let's go ahead and get started. First thing we're going to do is we're going to place down a stone block on top of this block up here in the front, and we want to go and then place down a stone upside-down stair. On both sides of this upside-down stair, we're going to place down a stone upside-down corner stair, and then an air stone block going back from those corner stairs. Now, once we have that done, we want to go ahead and then place down a additional row of 3. So you have 2 rows of 3 in total of those stone blocks, and then 2 stone top sebs to the sides there, like so. At this point, we're going to go ahead and then transition to some stone full blocks. So we're going to place down 1 and 2 full blocks of stone on both sides there, and we'll also place down 2 stone full blocks on top of those walls right there to fill that space in. Now, we will kind of start to keep our deck here in mind a little bit, so we will be filling this in with gray wool in this section here. Now, once we get to this point here of the build, we're going to go ahead and then take our stone blocks, and we're going to place down a row of stone. Now, this row here is going to go basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 blocks back. So we're going to go ahead and just go back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 stone blocks back. It's going to be along the side here, like so. So my apologies, this is actually going to be 8. So we're going to go and go 1 less there. And we're going to go and go over the air side here and do the same thing. So just a row of 8 going back. This inside section here, we can just fill in with gray wool. So again, we're going to fill this completely in. This will need to be filled in as the deck will be sitting on, or this will be visible from the outside, as that will be part of the deck. Now, once we have this done, basically we're going to work on our details here to the side. We're going to start off with placing down 2 grindstones coming off these 2 stone blocks here to the sides. We then want to place down a wither skeleton skull, again on both sides. This whole front section here is going to be symmetrical on both sides, so again a wither skeleton skull to both sides there. Then we want to place down 2 birchwood fence gates, so 1 and 2, and both these fence gates here will be opened up toward the middle of the ship. We're going to go and then place down an andesite wall on both sides there. We're going to go and then grab skeleton skulls, and we want to go and then place down a row of 2 skeleton skulls, and same thing over here. At this point, this right here depends on what version of Java you're on. If you are on, or what version of Minecraft. If you're on Java, we're going to go ahead and use pistons if you have access to commands. And again, this is only going to apply if you have access to commands, so most likely you're going to be in creative mode. So just keep that in mind. Again, Java players with commands will place down these pistons. If you are not on Java, instead of using the pistons, a good alternative would be to use a stone brick slab. So again, either a stone brick slab or a piston, depending on your game version. Now, whatever block you placed, coming off of it, we're going to go and place down a dark oak wood fence gate, and we're going to open up the fence gate toward that block. We will be adjusting those pistons a little bit later, but for the time being, we're going to leave them as is. Now, once we get to this point here, this right here is going to be our last thing. We're going to be symmetrical on both sides, and this is just going to be an andesite wall to both sides. Now, at this point in time, this is where we start to get into our asymmetry, so we'll be going ahead and, like we did before, working on the right side first. What we're going to do first is we're going to go and place down a light gray stained glass pane going back. We're going to follow this up also with a stone block right behind that. Or rather, actually, it's going to be a gray wool block. So gray wool. We then want to place down a stone block directly after that. And then we're going to place down another gray wool block after that. Now on the siding here, we have this glass pane right here. And we're going to go then place down a piston in this spot. Again, we're going to leave it as is for right now. And we're going to go then place down a dark oak fence gate coming off the side of it like so. Again, that could be a stone brick slab, dependent on what version you're on. After that, we're going to go then place down another light gray stainless pane right here. And we then want to go ahead and place down a total of 2 more back. So 1, 2, so you have a total of 3. And then 2 stone blocks on the inside here. And then another stone block back. This is going to be followed up with a andesite wall. So an andesite wall here. And then a stone block after that andesite wall. Now on the side here of the wall and these 2 glass panes, we're going to place down our item frames. And we're going to place down white beds in those item frames rotated sideways. So like that. After that, we're going to go then take our stone blocks. We're going to go ahead and continue on back after this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 for right now. So 7 more back. We're going to go ahead and go up from this item frame. So our second stone block, we're going to place down 1, 2, 3 item frames. And again, we're going to place down our white beds in those item frames rotated sideways. We're going to go ahead and place down another skeleton skull. That's going to be right here. Then on top of these iron trapdoors, we're going to go ahead and place down a light gray bed like that. And after that light gray bed going back, we're going to place down an iron trapdoor. Now at this point here, we're going to go ahead and go back to our stone blocks. We're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 stone blocks back, continuing that row along the side. We're going to place down a anvil, which is going to be located right here. After that, we're going to go ahead and then place down a cobweb in this spot, like so. And then going back from that cobweb, we're going to place down 1 and 2 stone brick top slabs, and then a stone brick slab here for that side crane. Now, with that all done, we then want to go ahead and continue on with a stone block here. Coming off that stone block, we will be placing down a lever. And then after that stone block there, we're going to go ahead and place down a andesite wall. Like so. And then 1, 2, and 3 light gray stainless panes. Or sorry, actually, my bad. It's going to be 2. Now, on the side here, we're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stone blocks for the time being. And we want to go ahead and place down a stone stair, which is also going to be coming off this stone block. So we're going to go ahead and add a stone stair there, upside down, and same thing will be done over here on this side as well. So let's go ahead and add that upside down stair there at both sides. Now, on the top here of the stair, we are going to go ahead and place down a piston. Again, so it's going to be just like this. And it's going to have a fence gate coming off of it like so. Again, stonework slab as an alternative. We're going to go ahead and then place down a light gray stainless pane back again. Another stone block. And then a second stone block. We're going to follow this up with a skeleton skull. Like this. And then another piston. Again, could be a stone brick slab as well. And we're going to have that fence gate opened up toward that piston. We then want to go ahead and place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 stone blocks back. Now along the side here, we're going to go ahead and place down 1, 2 skeleton skulls again. And then we're going to go ahead and grab our grindstones, and we're going to place down 2 grindstones as well. As well as a wither skeleton skull on top of this iron trapdoor here. After we have that done, we're going to go ahead and then grab our birchwood signs, and we're going to place down a birchwood sign here on the side of this stone block. Now going from a stone block over, we're going to place down 1, 2, 3 gray wool, and then another stone block on this side, and that's going to connect us up to our left side of the ship. We want to go ahead and basically build this up by going ahead and placing down a row of 5 of pistons across the back here. A alternative to the pistons would probably be a row of, I would probably place a stone stair on both sides, and then maybe like a row of 3 of polished blackstone stairs in the middle to kind of keep a close deck color. So again, we'll have our pistons for Java players, and if you're not on Java, I would place down a stone stair on both sides, a polished blackstone stair on both sides here on the inside, and then on the very middle, I would place down maybe like a quartz stair, and that would be for that white line that's going to go down the center. Now on the very back here, we're going to go ahead and place down a smooth quartz slab here in the center, polished blackstone slab to both sides of that quartz slab like that. And after we have that done, in these corner spaces, we're going to go ahead and place down a wither skeleton skull on a block that's going to be at a slight angle, like this on both sides, to kind of give a little bit more roundness there to the stern of the ship. Now on the side of the pistons also, we're going to place down a birchwood sign, and the same thing will be done over here on this side as well. So just make sure it gets transitioned over to both sides. And again, we're going to leave that like it is for right now, and we'll be coming back to those pistons a little bit later. Now for this left side here, it's pretty similar in terms of design to the right side. We're going to start off by going ahead and going off the stone block. We're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 blocks going basically forward. We're going to go ahead and begin with by going ahead and placing down a andesite wall right here. And then we're going to go ahead and place down a row of glass panes. So 1, 2, going back. And then we want to place down a piston on this block. Coming off that piston, like we had before, a dark oak fence gate. And your light gray stainless paint in this section. And then a skeleton skull, another piston, dark oak wood fence gate coming off the piston, opened up toward it. And then again, 2 skeleton skulls, followed with a row of 2 of grindstones, and then we're going to place down a wither skeleton skull in this spot right there. Now, after we have that all done there, we also want to go ahead and place down a skeleton skull that's going to be on the side here of this wall, so just make sure that gets translated to both sides, and also a row of 2 of birchwood signs on the side here of these glass panes. So again, that will be done there on both sides. After we have that all done there, we're going to take our stone blocks going off this wall. We're going to go ahead and build forward 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15 blocks. Or actually, we're going to go and go a lot less than that. We're going to go ahead and go to about this point here. And let me go ahead and actually a lot less actually. So I kind of over-guessed it there, but it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 blocks in total. After we have those 5 blocks built, we're going to go ahead and then place down an andesite wall. Then we want to place down 1, 2, 3 stone blocks. We're going to go ahead and then place down a daylight detector in this space, turn it to night mode, stone block on the inside here, stone block here, daylight detector again, stone block on the inside, and stone block, or rather, sorry, an andesite wall to the outside there. And behind that andesite wall, we will place down a stone block as well. Now, after that, going ahead and going off the andesite wall, we're going to go ahead and go 1 and 2 blocks forward, a stone block. Coming off the side of that stone block, we're going to place down a andesite wall, or rather a diorite wall. Then 2 more andesite walls. We're going to go ahead and then place down a piston right here, and then we're going to place down 2 more one more andesite wall to connect us up there to the front. Now behind these andesite walls, we will place down stone blocks, just again to kind of make them look a little bit more filled out. And we'll also take birchwood signs, and on the side here of those andesite walls, we're going to go and just fill this in with our birchwood signs. And this piston right here will also be either a stone brick slab or the piston, have that dark oak fence gate, and also a stone block on the inside here right behind it. And we'll go ahead and also replace these 2 walls here also with the birchwood signs. Now, once we have this done, we can go ahead and kind of continue to expand on some of the detail here to the sides. On the sides here, we're going to go ahead and place down a kind of this saw type design. Stone cutter is going to be right here coming off those daylight detectors. And underneath these, we want to make sure we replace this item frame that we broke. But if you're on Java, we'll place down a lever underneath this one right here. And we're going to go ahead and then have it activated to connect up like so. You will not be able to do that on Bedrock or Pocket Edition. On those 2 versions, you can either choose to have the lever or choose to have the item frame. It's basically one of the 2. You can pick whichever one. Probably the lever might be the best to do there for that detail, but again, it is up to you. And then this stone cutter right here, we're going to go ahead and just basically do the same thing. We're going to place it here, but I would recommend placing it like this so that it does not have to be activated to open and close. So again, like that out to the side there. We're going to go ahead and then grab our gray bed, or our light gray bed. We're going to place it down right there on top of that block there. Another iron trapdoor on top of this one, and we're going to go ahead and basically build our crane design again here. So we have an anvil, followed by a cobweb, and then it's going to be followed by 2 stone brick top slabs, and then a stone brick slab. Like that going back. And then lastly, a lever on the side here, like so. Now, after that is all done right there, we also want to place down a skeleton skull that is going to be coming off this stone block, so in between those stone cutters, like so. And just trying to make sure I'm not missing anything, and everything does appear to be good to go, but again, there could be like one little thing I'm missing, and that pretty much looks about right for what we have going on here. Now, at this point in time, I would recommend going ahead and now filling the whole inside of this ship in with gray wool. So any section that is open on the inside here will be filled in with gray wool completely. This, again, will be all part of the flight deck in the next layer. Basically, will be visible from the surface from up above of the ship. So this is going to be all decking. So just make sure to fill this in with the gray wool completely and as thoroughly as possible. We want as much gray or dark gray here on top as we can possibly get. So again, we're approaching the stern of the ship here. Almost have this completely filled in. Even over these spaces right here, we're just going to fill that in completely with our gray wool. Now, once we have that all done, this is right here is what it should look like up above for the most part. Again, those pistons might be a little bit different depending on, again, your version. But this is, again, what we kind of want from the top-down view. Now, once you have that all filled in, at this point in time, I will be going ahead and talking about a Java-specific feature that we will be going ahead and incorporating on the ship. If you are not on Java, you may want to go ahead and just skip this part and go straight into basically the next layer. So you can go and look at the time encoder bar or the timestamp below. But if you're a Java player and you are using commands, make sure you stick around, and we will be covering some cool features we're going to do to kind of sprucing up the build and add a little bit more detail to it. So with that, let's go ahead and move into these detail bits. Alright guys, so the little details I was talking about here is going to be involving the some tripwire hooks and some yellow wool, or just a block in general. It doesn't really matter what block you use, just as long as you can tell it apart from the build and easily delete it later. Now, we will be going ahead and giving ourselves a tool. This tool is called the debug stick. We'll get this tool by typing the command /give @p Minecraft :debug_stick. And by pressing enter with this command, you will go ahead and get this flashing stick. What we're going to do here is we're going to build a block off these grindstones. So just one block off, so you have this block of space between the grindstones and this yellow wool. And we're going to place down tripwire hooks. We're going to go to the left click the tripwire hooks until we get selected facing. Again, this might be different depending on what version, or not for version, but what orientation you have the ship in. And we're going to go and just right click and rotate these tripwire hooks around until they connect up to our grindstones. So they will look just like that. And we're going to go and also do that for these stone cutters in this midship section over here on the left side. So again, we'll just do the same thing. And again, how many times you have to click those tripwire hooks will vary depending on, again, the orientation of the ship. And we will go ahead and also do it here to the back grindstones. So just like that. And then the same thing is going to be done over here on the other side of the ship. So we're going to go ahead and just do the same exact thing. It's like so. And then we'll also go ahead and go up to the front ones here again. And we're going to go and do the same thing. So just like that. Sides here, and that right there is basically it for those grindstones. So pretty simple stuff, nothing too complicated with them, and that right there is pretty much all I really wanted to cover. So nice little technique there. When it does come to the pistons, we'll be talking about that a little bit later, because the pistons here can be triggered if we do place or update the block space around them. So it's best just to kind of leave them until almost the end. Once we get the next layer done, we'll be in a good position to go ahead and alter those pistons, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. But anyways, though, that is going to wrap up everything we have there for layer number 5, and with that, we'll be going ahead and moving on to layer number 6. Alright guys, moving into our next layer here, we do have layer number 6. Layer 6 here is going to basically set up our flight deck and get us started here on our conning tower. Let's go and get started. So the first thing we want to do is we're going to go ahead and find our center line of the ship, and actually real quick before we even do that is one thing I did miss from the previous layer is iron trapdoors here in the corners there on the bow. Make sure that those just get added in there. So again, in those corner spaces. With that all covered though, we're going to go ahead and find our center point, which is right here, and we're going to go ahead and place down a line of white wool that's going to go all the way back. So this is just going to run the entire length of the ship all the way back until we get to our last stone block here, or our last gray wool block on the very end. So again, all the way back, and then again our last gray wool block, it's going to stop right there. So that line right there is just going to fill down the center. Now once we have that all done, we're going to go ahead and take our iron rail, or just our normal rails here I should say, and we're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll take our gray carpet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as well to fill that space in. And we'll leave that alone for right now. We're going to kind of work on the stuff around the deck and all that stuff, and come back to those deck markings. Now what we want to do is we're going to go ahead and start off by going ahead and grab ourselves either some iron bars or cobwebs. Again, this is going to depend on your game version. For Java players, we're going to place down iron bars on top of these two walls here. If you're not in Java, I would recommend going ahead and using a cobweb. And for these iron bars here, we're just going to go ahead and alter them by going ahead and basically changing the direction as they face. So we'll left click basically each direction, and we're just going to go ahead and extend it. So just like that, and we will be doing the same thing over here for this iron bar. So just like that on both sides. Now after we have that done there, we also want to go ahead and grab a barrier block, and this can be grabbed by typing the command /give space @p Minecraft :barrier, and that's it. Press enter will give you this barrier block. Now what you're going to do is you're going to place this barrier block here very simply on top of the grindstones. Again, that'll be on both sides here in the front, and a stone button on the side of those barrier blocks. Going ahead and go into the wall right here. We're going to go ahead and place down a barrier block on top of this wall, then a stone button coming off the side of it, and same thing over here. Barrier block here, and stone button coming off that, like so. We'll then take our gray carpet. After the rails, we're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then it's going to go ahead and go 9, and then out to this wall here, like so on this side. And over on the other side, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we're going to go ahead and stop there. It's not going to go off this glass pane or anything. It's just going to stop at that point there. And that kind of fills that in. One thing to take note of, though, is that our iron bars did get a little messed up here. So just make sure that those get corrected by, going ahead and fixing those like so. So we have our barrier blocks placed there on both sides, and we have that first little mast section set up with either a cobweb or those iron bars. Now at this point, we're going to go ahead and then place down a stone cutter on top of the stone block, and as well on top of this block here for our anti-aircraft gun positions. We'll then go ahead and go back from this last stone cutter with a scaffolding piece like so. We're going to go and then take our stone blocks, and we're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and just 5 blocks down the center. And then we're going to go ahead and place down 2 and the side walls 1, 2 on the very back here. Now once we have that done, we're going to take our light gray stainless paints, and we're just going to go ahead and go to both sides, I believe. Or rather the inside here, we're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 glass panes. On the right side here, it's going to be 2 glass panes. Then a birchwood fence gate opened up like so, and then again 2 light gray stainless paints. And going ahead and expand upon this also is we're going to place down a stone upside down stair, and then an air scaffolding block on this right side here. Now with that all complete, we're going to go ahead and then place down either a cobweb or an iron bar, whichever you did before, on top of this skeleton skull here. We're going to go ahead and do the same technique. So just like that. And we're going to go ahead and go over to this skeleton skull here between these stone cutters, and we're going to go ahead and do the same thing. So again, depending on what side you're working on there. One thing also is that we do want to place down a gray carpet on top of this stone block here, so do make sure that you correct this iron bar, as that will change. And we're going to go ahead and take our gray carpet, place down 1 here, and we're just going to go ahead and fill this row in like so going forward. And we also want to go ahead and take our gray carpet and place it on this outer row, and we're going to go ahead and make sure that we do not place it on top of this daylight detector. So it's just going to fill in this row along here like so. Then after that, going ahead and working our way back more, we want to go ahead and then place down a wither skeleton skull on top of these anvils. We're going to go ahead and then go off of those end rods with, or those skeleton skulls with a chain. So we're going to place down a chain that goes back like so. And we then want to go ahead and grab a lever, and we're going to place down a lever coming off those like that for our crane there. That's basically all we have going on right there. We then want to go ahead and grab our direct walls again. We're going to place down a direct wall that's going to go on top of this. So we're a direct wall on the left side on top of this lever, and then on the right side it's going to be a skeleton skull. And then on top of the skeleton skull here, we're going to do the same thing for mass. So again, depending on which side you're on. And we're going to go ahead and again extend it. If we're on Java, doing the end rod trick. And then over here on this side, same thing. And again, either cobwebs there as an alternative. Now, we do want to go ahead and take our gray carpet. There will be a gray carpet right here on this wall, right behind them. So just make sure you do edit those to extend properly, like that. And then we'll take our gray carpet, and we're just going to go and fill this row in going forward and cover that stone block there. And you can also place down a row right here, fill this in, though it's not completely necessary, as most of it is already gray carpet anyway. And then we're going to take our gray carpet and continue it on these two glass panes. And we then want to go and take our gray carpet here, and we're just going to go and place it down on the remainder of these stone blocks, going all the way to the back here. So that's going to be on this left side here, like so. And there will also be a iron bar that's going to be on top of this skeleton skull here, or a cobweb again. And we're just going to go ahead and alter it like so. And then over on the other side here, it's going to basically be same thing. We're going to take our gray carpet and we're going to go ahead and basically fill this in. So it's going to be filled in like this, going back to this point here. And then we have gray carpet on top of these glass panes as well. And then we're going to go ahead and fill in this row of stone right next to it. Again, this is going to go all the way back here to that spot. So it's going to take us all the way to the rear of the ship. Now, once we have that done, again, we're going to place down another iron bar on top of the skeleton skull. Again, we're going to extend the sides out of it. So just like that. And then we're going to go ahead and grab our barrier block, and on top of this grindstone here, we're going to place down our barrier block again to both sides, and a stone button on the side of those barrier blocks. And that right there should pretty much be about it for this layer, for the main portion of this layer. To kind of add a little more detail here to the decking, we're going to go ahead and grab birchwood buttons, and we're going to go ahead and start from the back. 2 birchwood buttons on both sides. We then want to go ahead and place down a white carpet to both sides, and we're going to go ahead and then delete that center carpet. So it kind of creates a little bit of a circle type design there. And then we want to go ahead and then go forward from that with 9 buttons. So both sides, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So just like that. Then going back up to the front here, we want to go ahead and kind of go to this section here, and we are going to make one kind of alteration here to the design. Now the ship does have these little elevators, and I do want to go ahead and make sure that we do incorporate those. So for these elevators, we are going to go ahead and change a little bit of the deck here. Our first one here, we're going to go ahead and replace these 3 gray wool blocks here, and we're going to place down gray shulker boxes, and then we're going to place down, instead of the white carpet there and those gray blocks, we're going to place down our white shulker boxes here in the ground level to go ahead and create that first elevator there. Our next elevator is going to kind of be in line with this glass pane right here. We're going to go ahead and replace our white carpet again with those shulker boxes there, and then we're going to go ahead and then place down our gray shulker boxes on the outside there. So that's our second elevator. And then our third one is going to be basically located in this section here. So we're going to go ahead and kind of go back from this wall, 1 and 2 blocks, and then we're going to go ahead and go out to the side, or go toward the middle, and we're going to place down our 3 shulker boxes there of dark gray, and then we're going to go ahead and place down our white shulker boxes there instead of the line. So it should look like this, and that's kind of the position there of your elevators on the ship. So that's going to be those 3 right there. And lastly, we have our birchwood buttons. We're going to place down a birchwood button on top of this shulker box here, and then we're going to place down 3 forward, and then on the crossway here, we're just going to do the same thing with our 4 buttons. So it should look like this here for the top-down view with this layer all complete. Now, a few things again for Java players. So we will be going in and talk about some Java-related things here. First thing being is that we're going to go ahead and go to these pistons, and we can go ahead and now alter them. So we're going to go and left-click them until we get selected extended false prompt pop up, and we're just go ahead and then right-click them to go ahead and get rid of that wood portion, and helps create a kind of nice little block design there for that. So we're just going to go ahead and do that for all pistons. And again, don't forget the ones on the back here as well. And that right there is it for that. The next thing being is we have these grindstones here again. So we will be going ahead and using the same technique we used before, using our tripwire hooks. So just like we did here on the sides, we're going to place down our tripwire hooks. And again, we're going to go ahead and rotate these around until they're coming off the side here of the grindstone, or these stone cutters, like so. So for those anti-aircraft gun batteries. Anyways, though, that right there is going to complete everything we have here for this layer. Yeah, that's pretty much it for that. With that, we're probably going to move into our final layer. Again, here is an overview of what this layer looks like with everything complete. So again, with that, let's move on to our last final layers. Before we go ahead and move into our last final layers, one quick adjustment I do want to make is over here on the side of the superstructure. We're actually going to replace this fence key here with a light gray stainless pane. And that fence gate is going to actually come off to the side here of it. So it's going to come off to the side like that and open up toward that glass pane. So let's go ahead and make that quick adjustment, nothing too crazy. And with that, let's go ahead and jump into this layer. Now the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and finish off these masks. Now if you're on Java, we're just going to go ahead and place down our iron bars that go up. We'll be going ahead and using our debug stick here as well throughout this. So again, you'll be using our debug stick, or you'll be using the cobwebs, whichever you placed down before. You're going to go ahead and basically use the same thing. So again, you're going to just go ahead and do this for all these, or place down cobwebs. So like that, and then we have this right here. We're going to do the same thing. This is going to go up, or rather, before we go and finish this off, there's going to be a skeleton skull right here. So we're just going to place that for right now so we don't disrupt this. But we'll take our debug stick here again, doing the same technique like so. And then again for the back ones. Like that. And then this one here. Like that. And then we have this one, which we don't want to waterlog. And then we have this one here. And then that right there is it. So we have all those built up like so. We then want to go ahead and take our end rods, and we're going to place down 2 end rods going up from each set. So each one is going to have their end rods going up, including this one here next to the superstructure. So just like so. After we have that done, we want to go ahead and then grab ourselves barrier blocks again. And starting on our rear mass here, we're going to take our barrier blocks and we're going to go ahead and extend from these forward end rods to the rear ones here. Same thing on this side. So just a long row along the side. And then we're going to take stone buttons, and on the outside here are the barrier blocks. We're just going to place down stone buttons there for our cabling. Same thing will be done over here on this side. All on the side. We'll then take our barrier blocks, and we're going to go ahead and place down a row of 4 here, going back from this end rod here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And over here, same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll place down 2 on this side, 2 on the inside, then again 2 on the outside, and then 2 on the inside. We'll go ahead and then go down from this end rod, or go off of it with the barrier block, so like this, and we're going to go down at an angle like so until we kind of connect up to this one. Again, stone buttons here on the outsides, and over here same thing. So kind of coming down at an angle like that, and again our stone buttons like that at an angle on the outside there of those blocks. Now after that's done, going back up to the front here, we do want to go ahead and take our barrier blocks, and we're going to go ahead and come down at an angle like so. Again, stone buttons on the outsides. And same thing going back from this end rod, or going toward the rear of the ship. Going to go down at an angle. Again, stone buttons. Over here, same thing. So just like that. Then going the other way. And our buttons. So just like that. Now, after we have that all done there, that's going to basically complete our rigging, and our main structure, our main focus now is just going to be strictly on the superstructure. So for the superstructure, the conning tower here, we're going to go ahead and begin with by going ahead and placing down a stone full block on top of this space right here, then a birchwood fence gate in this spot, and we're going to open that fence gate forward. Coming off the fence gate, we're going to place down a skeleton skull, followed by another skeleton skull, or rather, first off a block right here, so temporary block right there to both sides, or actually sorry, one out to the side, so you have a space of 1 between the fence gate and that block. We're going to place down a skeleton skull like this to both sides, and then a skeleton skull coming off those like that. Then, if possible, we're going to place down a birchwood sign here on the back of the skeleton skull, which we cannot do, so we're going to leave that alone. And we're going to go then place down a andesite wall going back from that block. And after that, we're going to place down a birchwood sign here on the sides of those walls. So again, same thing there on both sides. Now, once we get to this point, we're going to place down another andesite wall to both sides and our stone block here in the center. Except on this side over here, on top of that fence gate, we are going to go ahead and place down a direct wall. So just a direct wall like this on top of it. Anyways, continuing back, we're going to go ahead and then place down 2 stone full blocks. Again, 2 Valkyrie stainless panes here to both sides. So like so. And then we're going to place down our gray carpet. We have 1, 2. And we also have our stone cutter here. Like this. On top of that scaffolding. And again, for Java players, we'll go ahead and just use that technique that we've been doing. And we're going to place down our tripwire hook here. And we're going to go ahead and rotate it around. Connect up to that, like so. After that's done, we're going to go ahead and then place down 2 stone blocks on top of these 2. Then another set of 2 going up. And we're going to place down our 2 Valkyrie stainless panes on the sides there of those 2 stone blocks going all the way up like so. On the very top there, we're just going to go ahead and place down 2 dark oak with trapdoors. And then going ahead and go into this middle stone block, we're going to place down a birchwood fence gate. Coming off that block, we're going to open it up toward the funnel. And then we're going to place down a skeleton skull on both sides of it. With that done, going ahead and continuing on with the superstructure, or the client tower I should say at this point, we're going to place down a piston here. The piston could be subbed out for a stone brick slab instead, so again, depending on your game version. We're going to place down a skeleton skull on top of this one, as well as the skeleton skull here to both sides of the piston or the stone brick slab. And then we're going to place down an andesite wall here in the center, followed by again a skeleton skull on both sides of that stone brick slab, or sorry, that andesite wall. Again, for Java players, we'll go ahead and then right-click that piston to go ahead and get rid of that wood portion. Continuing on, we're going to go ahead and place down a stone brick stair in this spot right here. And to the sides of the stone brick stair, we're going to go ahead and place down a wither skeleton skull. So, right here to both sides. Once that's done there, we're going to go ahead and then place down a birchwood fence post on top of this wall. A birchwood fence gate on top of the stair opened up toward that wall. Then we're going to place down an anvil on top. End rods to the sides here of the anvil, and 1 end rod going forward. We're going to go and then place down 2 end rods going up, an andesite wall on the very top here, and then again a end rod to both sides of that andesite wall. We'll go ahead and then lastly grab ourselves some barrier blocks. We're going to place down 1 and 2 barrier blocks here, 1 and 2. We're going to place down 2 stone buttons around the top one, and then 1 stone button here on the side of that bottom one. And once you have that all complete there, that is going to complete the final layers for the build. And with that, that's going to wrap up my design here for the HMS Ark Royal aircraft carrier from World War II. Hopefully you guys do enjoy this design of this carrier and are able to put it to good use. If you do end up using this build, I do ask you guys to give me proper credit for it. This can be anything from a sound of the build to link to my channel or this video if this does bring your social media sites. As long as you guys give me proper credit for it, you're free to use it for a project you guys are working on. Overall, enjoy the build, have fun with it, all that fun stuff. Again, a big special thanks to Patreon supporter Derek Frost Westbrook for making this tutorial possible. And as always, feel free to check my Patreon page. Link is down in the video description. With that, though, again, thank you guys again so much for watching. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. This has been Gary 2x4, and I'll see you guys next time.